Yeah, and the big breaking news that we've been waiting for all day, really, in truth, with various bits of information dribbling in and out, is that the three other players to miss out on the final squad are goalkeeper James Trafford and the two defenders, Jarrod Branthwaite and Jarrod Konsa. So let's just recap the 7 names who we can tell you are not in England's final Euro squad of 26. Remember, that's the number that Southgate had to get rid of, if you like, from the provisional 33-man squad that he named. The big headlines already gone: James Maddison, Jack Grealish, Curtis Jones and Harry Maguire. So the 4 of the 7 we knew before this announcement happened at 5:30. But in terms of the goalkeepers, there is no James Trafford. In terms of the defenders that have been with this squad for the last week or more but will not be travelling to Germany, Jarrod Branthwaite, the Everton defender, and Jarrod Konsa, the Liverpool defender. So let's tell you the full squad now. We can now tell you the final 26 who will be representing England at the European Championships in Germany. The 3 goalkeepers are Jordan Pickford, Aaron Ramsdale and Dean Henderson. No surprise, I think you have to say, in those 3 names. In terms of the defenders, we know that Harry Maguire hasn't proved his fitness in time. Lewis Dunk is in there, despite a late injury scare for the Brighton defender. Lewis Dunk, Joe Gomez, Marc, Guehi, Ezri Konsa, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Kieran Trippier and Kyle Walker. We'll come back to these names and discuss them in detail, I'm sure, in just a few moments. But let's go through the list as it is. In terms of the midfielders, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Conor Gallagher, Kobbie Mainoo, Declan Rice and Adam Wharton, the 19-year-old Crystal Palace holding midfielder, only came on for his England debut the other night, is in the final tournament squad going to Germany. And then the forwards, Jude Bellingham, Jarrod Bowen, Eberechi, Phil Foden, Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane, Cole Palmer, Bukayo Saka, Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins. We thought it might be one or the other. Southgate has decided to go with both strikers. That is your 26-man squad that will represent England in Germany starting in less than 2 weeks' time now.
Rob, if you had told me when Gareth Southgate named the 33 that would be the 26, at that moment, the most unlikely inclusion was probably Luke Shaw, who Gareth Southgate himself said was a long shot.
Absolutely right. And I think you have to say, I've spoken to Gareth Southgate a number of times over the last few weeks about Luke Shaw and about the chances of him making this squad. Bear in mind, he hasn't played any football for Manchester United since the middle of February. That has been the extent of Luke Shaw's injury. He will not play in the final warm-up game for England against Iceland at Wembley tomorrow night. And yet, here he is included in the 26-man squad for the tournament. That is an extraordinary story in its own right. It says just how much faith Gareth Southgate has in Luke Shaw as a left-back. It shows just how desperate he was to take him as a left-footed, England's only left-footed left-back option in this provisional squad of 33. And it also shows, I think, the progression that has happened behind the scenes, which we haven't been a party to. The improvement in Luke Shaw's fitness, the medical reports which have come back better and better each day, which have suggested to the England manager that Luke Shaw will be able to play an important part in this tournament still, despite all that lack of football. When we speak to Southgate in less than half an hour's time, it'll be a key question for him. How fit is Luke Shaw? When can he play? What have the medical reports told you? But it's nonetheless an extraordinary story that a player who hasn't played any football since the middle of February is included in this squad to go to the Euros.
And here's an even more extraordinary story. Adam Wharton, who if I'd said to you in December, Adam Wharton's going to the Euros, you'd have thought I was completely stark raving bonkers.
Absolutely. Look, I think it's very clear, and I don't want to pour cold water on what is an extraordinary story for a 19-year-old who's only made one substitute appearance for England just a few days ago to be included in a tournament squad like this. An incredible moment for him and for his family. But he's clearly included as cover for Declan Rice. Adam Wharton is the only other holding midfield player in this squad. So if anything were to happen to Declan Rice, if he was to pick up an injury tomorrow at Wembley tomorrow night, for example, or in one of the the opening group games, England would not have a defensively minded anchoring midfield player in their ranks. Adam Wharton is that. And so I think he is there clearly as cover should anything happen to Declan Rice. But I should point out what an extraordinary story it is for Crystal Palace today. Bear in mind they are the most represented club in this squad. Marc Guehi, Eberechi, Dean Henderson and Adam Wharton, 4 Crystal Palace players going to a major tournament as part of a squad of 26. That is one heck of a story in its own right.